Hare Krishna everyone. My name is Kavya Budhiraja and welcome back to Being Krishna Conscious. Have you ever bought an electronic device? Maybe a phone or a washing machine or a laptop? So after purchasing that device, what is the first thing that you do? Well, I'm sure that the first thing that we all do after purchasing an expensive electronic item is to go through its manual and to see how to make the best use out of that device, or maybe how to use it in a way in which we do not damage the product. So let me ask you one thing. What is the most valuable thing that we all possess? It is our body, right? Our body is the most important, the most significant object that we possess in our lives. Don't you think even with this human form of life comes a manual which tells us the do's and the don'ts with this human form of life? Just like we have a manual for every item, similarly, the manual for this human form of life is none other than Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And today is the advent of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Yes, today is Gita Jayanti. It was today, 5,000 years ago, on which Lord Shri Krishna sung this Gita Upanishad to his most dear friend and devotee, Arjun, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But the question is, why is it important to read Srimad Bhagavad Gita? When we have other scriptures, we have different Upanishads, we have the Chatur Vedas. So why Bhagavad Gita? Why should we read this? All these Vedic scriptures can be compared to a forest comprising of different types of plants and trees. Out of that forest, these Upanishads, they are like flowers. These Upanishads hold the value, the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. And we know that we have 108 Upanishads. So in that forest, there is a beautiful flower garland of 108 Upanishads. Now, in that flower garland, there is a primary rose or the principal flower that is strung just at the end, which is like the main attraction point of the entire garland. And that is the position of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Gita Upanishad holds the essence. It is the ultimate goal of all the various 108 Upanishads who hold the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. So, Gita holds the essence of all the Vedic scriptures without a doubt. There is a beautiful verse composed by Shripad Adi Shankaracharya in Bhaj Govindam. He says, Bhagavad Gita kinjid dhita, Ganga jal lav kanika pita, Sakrit eva murari samarcha, Kriyate tasya yamen na charcha. He says, Bhagavad Gita kinjid dhita. If you study just a little of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and try to apply that principle in your life, just a little, Ganga jal lav kanika pita. And if one takes just a little Ganga jal, Sakrit eva murari samarcha, and worships Murari, worships Sri Krishna just a little, Kriyate tasya yamena na charcha. That person is never the subject matter of Yamaraja's discussion. It means that there is no jurisdiction of Yamaraj on that person. So we can say that just by doing this little amount of worshipping Murari, of consuming just a little Ganga Jal and trying to apply just a little of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in our life, we go beyond the jurisdiction of Yamaraj. So can we imagine the level of advancement that a person can get in his life if he tries to read, study Srimad Bhagavad Gita every day and try to apply its core principles into his life? Now we know the value that Srimad Bhagavad Gita holds. But now the question comes, how can we read Srimad Bhagavad Gita? What is the right path of reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita? Well, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the very introduction of this Bhagavad Gita that one must study Bhagavad Gita in the mood of Arjuna. Arjuna took the position of a dutiful student. He took the position of a student who is submissive to his guru. Who was his guru? His guru is Sri Krishna himself. So, in order to understand Gita and in order to understand what Krishna is trying to tell us, we have to attain the mood of Arjuna. Now, how can we do that? Prabhupada says, any person who submissively tries to listen and understand from the lotus lips of a pure devotee of the Lord can easily understand Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So the requirement is we have to become like Arjuna. We have to attain the mood of Arjuna in order to really understand what Sri Krishna is telling us. Now the second point. Should we read or should we study Srimad Bhagavad Gita? Srila Prabhupada always mentioned that you should not only read, but you should study Srimad Bhagavad Gita. You read newspapers because you just have to go through the news and you just have to take an overview of the news. So you read the newspaper, but that thing which is of extreme importance, you don't read it, but you study it. So whenever you're studying Bhagavad Gita, take a pencil with you. Try to highlight important principles. Write down your questions. Ask them to your spiritual mentor. And that way will be the right way to study Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Ganga Maya, which is the most auspicious, came out of the lotus feet of Vishnu, of Krishna, which is also being held upon the head of Lord Shiva. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita is not coming out of the lotus feet of Krishna, but it's coming directly from the lotus lips of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even if you do not have an altar at your home, you can keep this Bhagavad Gita at a clean place and worship it every day, because worshipping Bhagavad Gita gives you the same benefit of worshipping Krishna himself, because there is no difference between the words of Krishna and Krishna himself. So on this most auspicious day of the advent of Srimad Bhagavad Gita from the lotus lips of Sri Krishna, let us all take this pledge to try and study Srimad Bhagavad Gita every day. Let us try to start this pledge by reading the first verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It is chapter 1, Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. Dhritarashtravacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetaayuyotsavah Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvati Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Now Prabhupada mentions that this question is very significant. Dhritarashtra knew why his sons and the sons of Pandu, the Pandavas, have assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He obviously knew that fight was going to happen. But why did he ask his secretary Sanjay as to what did they do? What is the significance? What is the mystery behind this question? In order to know that mystery, I want you to start reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita and do let me know that mystery in the comment section below. So try to adopt this jewel of Srimad Bhagavad Gita that we have got. Try to study this every day and try to inculcate the principles that have been given by Sri Krishna in your life. Hare Krishna, Gita Jayanti Maha Mahotsav ki jai, Mokshada Ekadashi ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Srila Prabhupada.